Oh, drat these computers. They're so naughty and so complex. I could pinch them.
What's up, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to learn about SparklingGoblin. U.S. media companies and retailers are being targeted by a new SparklingGoblin APT. An emerging international cybergang is broadening its targets to include North American media firms, universities, and one computer retailer. The Advanced Persistent Threat Group is new, according to researchers who dubbed it SparklingGoblin. Also new is a novel backdoor technique called SideWalk, used by the APT to penetrate cybersecurity defenses. SparklingGoblin, according to ESET researchers who named and discovered the crime group and the new backdoor, is an offshoot of another group called Winnti, first identified back in 2013 by Kaspersky. ESET also said in a Tuesday report that the SideWalk backdoor is similar to one used by Winnti called Crosswalk. Now, Crosswalk and SideWalk, according to ESET, are both modular backdoors used to exfiltrate system information and that can run shellcode sent by the command and control server. The group, which previously focused attacks on sectors in Macau, Hong Kong, and Taiwan in 2020, is still active, targeting victims via spear phishing campaigns that include a range of malicious payloads, including PDFs with LNK files, decoy Adobe Flash players, and booby-trapped JavaScript files. Researchers also theorized that initial compromises of victims may also include waterholes. ESET said it first became aware of SparklingGoblin in May 2020 when tracking the Winnti APT. Researchers said that's when they stumbled upon an unusual malware packer used to deliver malicious payloads to victims. An analysis of the malware inside the packer revealed samples containing artifacts from both the Equation Group and Winnti Group. The Equation Group, which is linked to the U.S. National Security Agency, had many of its secrets leaked online by a group called Shadow Brokers back in 2017.
Say, pardon me, but could you help out a fellow American who's down on his luck?
Hit the road!
The payload in these samples is an implant attributed to Equation. It is known as Pedal Cheap, aka Denderspritz, according to the project names seen in the Shadow Brokers leaks, ESET researchers wrote. ESET researchers said further analysis revealed the malware cocktail to be related to Winnti, but distinctly different in other ways. Even though that campaign exhibited links to the Winnti group, the modus operandi was quite different, and we started tracking it as a separate threat actor, aka SparklingGoblin, according to ESET. Those unique indicators included a version of Crosswalk that for the first time leveraged a plugx variant called CorePlug in conjunction with using Google Docs as a place to store malicious payloads called a dead drop resolver. Following the Hong Kong University compromise, we observed multiple compromises against organizations around the world using similar toolsets and TTPs. Considering those particular tactics, techniques, and procedures, and to avoid adding to the general confusion around the Winnti Group label, we decided to document this cluster of activity as a new group, which we named this really cool SparklingGoblin, and that we believe it is connected to Winnti Group while exhibiting some differences, according to ESET. Now, similar to modular backdoor Crosswalk and Winnti, SideWalk is its name for SparklingGoblin's backdoor. SideWalk is a modular backdoor that can dynamically load additional modules sent from its command and control server. It makes use of Google Docs as a dead drop resolver, and it uses Cloudflare workers as a command and control server. It can also properly handle communication behind a proxy. The SideWalk backdoor is ChaCha20 encrypted shellcode that is loaded from disk by SparklingGoblin's install-util-based.net loaders. An install-util or install-uti.exe is a Windows system tool that detects and executes installer components. The loader is responsible for reading the encrypted shellcode from the disk, decrypting it, and injecting it into a legitimate process using the process hollowing technique. Process hollowing is a method of executing arbitrary code in the address space of a separate live process, according to a minor description of the technique. Now, the attack allows the adversary to run malicious code in the context of a legitimate process. ESET's technical analysis covers the data and string pool decryption of the payload via a deobfuscated version of the run shellcode method called by Windows install-util.exe utility. In its initial campaign, SparklingGoblin is believed to be after usernames and IP addresses from a U.S. computer retailer and some Canadian schools. The group has mostly targeted academic sectors in East and Southeast Asia. Data targeted by Sparkling Goblin includes IP configuration, OS version, username, computer name, file names, current process ID, current time. Now, researchers are also unclear where the apt is based. ESET noted that there are clues that point to Sparkling Goblin possibly operating out of Eastern Asia, based on Chinese language used by the threat actors. Sparkling Goblin is a group with some level of connection to Winnti Group. It was very active in 2020 and the first half of 2021, compromising multiple organizations over a wide range of verticals around the world. So we have a new app called Sparkling Goblin, and they're looking for ways to get into our networks.
I lay my hands on that varmint. Oh!
They are actively using spear phishing, with malicious payloads including PDFs that contain LNK files, or decoy Adobe Flash players, or booby-trapped JavaScript files, and they could possibly be using watering hole attacks. So stay safe, check your networks regularly, follow the best practices outlined in all my security episodes, and the recent advisory from the NSA CISA. With that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to share and subscribe and smash the bell, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.
Don't forget to ride. Farewell.